All right, so just want to get everything started, and let's see. So, I just wanted to basically explain what um, the song 6 Feet Under was about, and um, for me, it was all about. I've been wanting to have a song produced for many, many years. I've been writing songs since the age of 13, 14, and when it came down to a song that I wanted done first, of course, my very first song I wanted was a different song. My producer and I, who's someone who I really, really love working with, we were struggling to find a sound for it, and unfortunately, it didn't work, it wasn't working, there was a struggle, and completely understand. So we went with a different song instead, which was 6 Feet Under. And he made two different instrumental versions, and I drew inspirations from Paramore song Misery Business, and 90s, early 2000s rock music and alternative music like Linkin Park, Fall Out Boy, and Good Charlotte. I really gotta say that when it comes down to it, the meaning behind the song 6 Feet Under is just about, someone just being dead to you. Like, they're nice to your face, which, it's something that you're gonna experience with in your life. They're nice to your face, but behind your back, they're completely different. And it happens, and I don't think it's right. I'm the kind of person where it's really important to have that message be shown and be well versed and be known that, hey, this is how I approach it, and everyone has their own different type of approach. And there was two specific people that I actually did write the song towards, but because I know them a little bit too personally, I won't address who they are. And also, as the song suggests, they're not, it's sad to say, but they are dead to me, and it's not really a nice thing to say. I get that, how can I not? But when you're nice to someone and they don't reciprocate and they're like totally fake to you, how can you continue to put yourself in that situation that you are going to allow them to persist being the way they are? Like, why put yourself through that? You should realize, once you realize that someone is being, fake and demeaning and just cruel, when you are giving it your all and you're doing the best and you're being yourself, why bother trying to make a relationship with them if they really do not care? If they really do not care and are just being so fake, it makes no sense for you to just continue. whether it be friends, whether it be, sadly, unfortunately, even family members. Because family members can be fake. And unfortunately, it's happened before. Still going on, but it's whatever. The production part of the song was very... I don't want to say it was very easy. It was very time consuming, that's for sure. My producer, who I have, he's very fantastic. I love all that he does. And, you know, when I found him, you know, it was just... We talked about the song, and he liked it. And, you know, he grasped and understood what it meant. What's currently playing in the background is the second instrumental version. This version that's currently playing is the one that I would have preferred, but it's a little bit too comparable to Paramore, so I wanted to branch out and not be as compared. However, back to the production part, my producer understood the meaning of the song, and, you know, there wasn't really much to explain. But because he's not used to this type of genre of music, it took a little bit more time for us to have it be completed. But once the final product happened, I was so happy about it, because for many, many years, as I stated earlier in the video, I don't know if and when you guys are going to be watching this, you know, I've been writing since age 13, 14, so I wanted my song to be released. Of course, I didn't write this song back when I was that age, but I had songs that were similar, but it was more like teen angst than anything. But I definitely gotta say that when it came down to being in the studio, I was a nervous wreck the first time, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening. And this is the finalized product that's playing right now. You know, it was very, very celebratory when it finally got published. It finally got released. And seeing the numbers that I saw, I mean, at first I was like, within the first week after it got released, I was like, oh, it's not doing so great. But, you know, my producer definitely was like, you know, you cannot focus on the numbers. You cannot focus on that. Because once you start focusing on just the numbers alone, you're not going to think about anything else. And he was right. So I made sure to change my mindset and just trust him. And he was very right. And it's been doing great ever since. And it's on Spotify. It's on all streaming services, actually. And it's on all streaming services worldwide, globally. I've seen that it's hit the continents of Africa, South America, Europe. It was so, for me, just not only just a dream come true, but just shocking the reception and the fact that people were actually listening to the song. Now, I mean, it was just something that I didn't expect. And I really wanted to get back in the studio really fast to do my second song. And, I understood, and I communicated with him because I did sign a contract. He was like, okay, well, I just want you to know that because it was just a single contract. Make sure you read your contracts, people, before you sign. He definitely had informed me, that he's super busy, that there's other stuff. He's got a lot of clientele, and I was like, totally understand. And I was fine with that. And I gotta say that, growing patience with all of that is just really something I had to learn and grow. And I really gotta say that I'm happy with the finished product. I'm very happy with what I've done so far. And moving forward, which I'll talk about in another video, not the next one, but a little bit later down the road. I do still want to work with my producer. I do. But I'll discuss that in a different video. But producing this song, we knew the route that we wanted to go. We finally got the dynamics of it, and he allowed me to have essentially full creative control to a point. If I didn't like something and I wanted something changed or altered a little bit, he'd be like, okay, yep, no problem, and it would be done and be taken care of, which I really liked, because not a lot of people are willing to do that, especially for new up-and-coming people, new up-and-coming artists. So definitely can understand. So I was like, okay, not a problem. But for him to be okay and accepting that I have the control, because this is my first one, essentially my newborn, he wanted me to enjoy the experience, and he made me feel very warm, very welcoming, and I really, really appreciate that and respect that, because a lot of companies, and again, this is why I always say, in regards to anything, make sure you always read your contract. You always read your contracts, people, in regards to anything. Because, I read my contract, and he read it with me, and, nowhere did it say that I had no creative control. I had as much input as he had. And, I trusted in him, and I'm glad I did. I'm happy with how it's performed so far. Of course, would I want it to be doing better? Who wouldn't want their own creation to do better? Who wouldn't? However, it is what it is, and I'm excited with the finished product overall. And I'm glad that I went to him for my follow-up, which I'm gonna cover that one for next week. But yeah, no, this song was not meant to be anything derogatory, because it's just an analogy. Because there were some people that did message me stating, because it's called 6 Feet Under, people were like, doesn't give off a good, at first glance, it doesn't give off a good image. And I was like, no, you just listen to the lyrics, listen to the music, and then you'll understand. And it's been doing progressively great, and it's getting more and more listens. And, as I build up my, I don't want to say empire or like franchise, whatever have you, I definitely do plan on branching out into other genres because I don't want to be a one genre shtick artist, which my follow-up single was definitely the polar opposite of this one. But 6 Feet Under was definitely something that I really was proud of and happy to release. And again, as I stated, you can find it for worldwide on all streaming services, on the Google Play Store, on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere. You can find my music because I do not believe in just being like, oh, I'm in America and that it should only play in America. No, I believe in that music should be heard on a global platform. It should be heard worldwide. So that's why I decided to be like, okay, I want it to be around the world. So seeing that it has hit other continents brought more tears to my eyes and like made me feel a lot more happy for the fact that people were listening. It made me realize like, okay, I like this is something I'm really, really passionate about and people are receptive of it. And as I'm about to wrap this up, I gotta say that moving forward, my third single that I'm working on for the lyrics, is definitely different than the other two. The first one, 6 Feet Under, punk rock genre field. The second one, Something More, was definitely more alternative R&B, but the third one is more, I'm leaning more towards like electronica or like a dance track. So we'll see how that works. And I'm still working closely with my producer and, just I'm all about being inclusive and not being exclusive, because you should always allow others to be able to be invested in you and have yourself be multifaceted in what you do, because you don't want to be stuck in one category, because that's how you get stereotyped. But I'm going to end this video on that note because it's about time and I'm done kind of rambling on. But today is in my social life, not my professional life now. I just want to give a very good, big, special shout out to my lovely friend Audrey. It's her birthday today and I love her to death. She is amazing. And for those that I know on a personal level and I haven't seen, I do miss you guys. And as we are going through this quarantine, please stay safe. Please follow the CDC guidelines and regulations. And just, if you need anything, don't be afraid to reach out. And you can always shoot me a message. You can always talk. I'm always here for you guys. So that's all I got. And so with that, adios.